welcome Dr. Peter Diamandis.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a true honor and pleasure to be here in Beijing for the WE Summit. Today I want to talk to you about what I'm extraordinarily passionate about, which is the future that we're creating. The incredible potential that we have as a human species to make our grandest dreams come true. How important these next 20 years are for humanity. We're alive today during a period of extraordinary exponential growth, and the two impacts of this growth are the way we think about the future, our mindsets, and the moonshots that we can take. So, let's talk about mindsets. How you think about the future is everything. If you think the world is getting better, then you'll invest, you'll create a future for your family, for your children, for your nation, for humanity. If you think it's getting worse, then you won't. It was about 4 years ago that I had a chance to write this book called Abundance, The Future is Better Than You Think. It's a book I'm very proud about. It's a book that came from the world I was seeing running the X Prize Foundation and running Singularity University. And it's a notion that we're living during the best time ever in human history. We are living during a time where we're going to make the dreams that we have possible. And we learn about the negative news over and over and over again around the world. But when you look at the data, when you look at the facts of the way the world is becoming, it is extraordinary. You see, over the last 100 years, the world has become extraordinarily better. Look at the numbers here. Over the last 100 years, the per capita income for every nation on this planet has more than tripled. The human lifespan has more than doubled. The cost of food has dropped 13-fold. The cost of energy has dropped 30-fold. Transportation, hundreds of fold. Communications have gotten millions of fold cheaper. And one of the realizations I had is that it's technology that takes what used to be scarce, what used to be only available for a few, and makes it abundant for everybody. There's a great example. I'm an advisor to a company in Silicon Valley called the Diamond Foundry. And what would we think about as being more scarce than perfect diamonds, 4, 5, 6 carat diamonds? Here is this company that's built a machine that has water, energy, and methane come in one end. And out the other end comes diamonds 4 carats, 6 carats, 8 carats, 10 carats. How big would you like them? Would you like to have imperfections? Would you like to have color? You can have that if you want. So it's a realization that what used to be scarce can become abundant through the impact of the technology that we're creating and that we're using. Let's look at some of the data about the way the world has been changing over the last 100 years. This is from the cover of the magazine The Economist, in which it shows us that over the last 20 years, we have taken a couple of billion people out of extreme poverty. And over the next 10 to 20 years, we have the potential to take every single human on this planet out of extreme poverty. A friend of mine, a professor at Harvard, wrote a book called The Better Angels of Our Nature. And in this book, Steven Pinker shows us that we're living during the most peaceful time ever in human history. Your chance of dying a violent death are 1/500th of what they used to be. It truly is an extraordinary time to be alive. This is a story that is so important for us. People are worried about overpopulation of planet Earth. My friends in Silicon Valley are worried about underpopulation of planet Earth. Back in the 1950s, there was over 100 countries on the Earth that had 6 or more children per family. But two things, and two things only, reduce the population growth rate pressures. Making a city, making a country better educated and healthier. Bill Gates from Microsoft has an incredible TED Talk on this subject. You make people better educated and healthier, the number of children they have plummet. I was in Morocco a few years ago, and I was looking at the data. 30 years ago, it was 6.8 children per family. The new king and queen came in, put in better education and health systems, and it dropped from 6.8 to 2.8 children per family. This is worldwide life expectancy. For all of human history, the average life of humanity was in their mid to late 20s. Let's call it 26. At age 13, you would go into puberty and have a baby. And then you would grow with that child until that child was 13 years old and you were 26 years old. And when food was scarce, the best thing you could do was not live longer than 26, which took now the food out of your grandchild. And so for all of human history, the average age was in your late 20s. Enter better sanitation and germ theory, and we doubled the human lifespan. I'm going to show you again how we're about to double it once again in the next 20 years. This is annual hours worked per week around the world. So even while the quality of life has exploded on this planet, we are now living and working half the hours that we used to. We forget what life was like back 100 years ago, where life was short and brutish and hard and 80, 100-hour work weeks.